Automatic shifting on an e-bike, on an EMTB. Who asked for that? Hasn't that been tried before, without any luck? How much work is it really pushing the shifter and having the bike shift exactly when you want? So what is this thing really? Well, it's the Shimano XT Di2 Linkglide 11-speed electronic shifting. It doesn't come as 12-speed, only 11-speed. And the reason for this is to have beefier cassette cogs, a beefier chain, to have a more durable drivetrain. It includes auto shift, which is the automatic transmission thing, and it includes free shift, which allows the bike to shift even if you're not pedaling. It spins the chainring a tad. If you decide to shift manually, it will spin the chainring a tad, and if the bike decides to shift on its own, which can happen if you're coasting and the speed is going up and the bike decides to put in a higher gear, so you're ready to start pedaling. And this function is only supported with the new Shimano EP8, the EP801, and the Shimano EP6. In addition to one of those motors, you will need the Shimano RD-M8150, that's the name of the new rear derailleur, the M8150 shifter, and you got new cassettes. And the point with these cassettes, 11-speed, 1150 teeth, is that they're Linkglide specific. That means they will shift very well under load. It's not the fastest, crispest shifting, like on the 12-speed systems. If you're a racer and you want to shift really fast, you have to basically run the mechanical drivetrains. So this one is a bit slower. You don't really notice it while riding in auto mode, but if you switch to manual mode, you can notice some delay from pressing the shifter until the bike performs the shift. And that's due to the design of the cassette. The chain will only move up or down at specific points on the cassette. So yeah, no, it's not instant shifting. Riding in auto mode, you don't really notice because you don't know when the bike sends the signal to shift and how much lag there is before the shift actually happens. So yeah, we mostly rode this system in auto mode because it worked really well, and we never noticed any sort of lag. What we could notice was, especially when riding on asphalt, the system could be a tad slow to shift. There are two presets for the automatic shifting on this bike. We rode the bike with the A1, the first preset, set to riding style trail, and the second preset set to riding style pavement. And riding on pavement, I guess the bike isn't that eager to shift. So yeah, there was a few occasions where I was waiting a bit for the bike to shift, but it did shift. And it shifts when it wants to. And that's where the Linkglide comes in, because the bike doesn't care if you're standing up pedaling as hard as you can in turbo mode. It will shift regardless. So the system has to be able to shift under maximum load, under worst conditions. And it does so very well. The A1 setting, which was set to riding style trail, seems a bit more eager to shift. And there is a setting called cadence. It was set to 72 on all the test bikes, which seems a nice starting point. 72 is the cadence the bike will try to maintain. So if your cadence drops too low, the bike will shift to a lower gear, and if your cadence is too high, the bike will shift to a higher ratio. And that works surprisingly well. And it's not like you're going to have to maintain exactly 72 cadence. I don't know exactly at what point the bike shifts up or down, but there is a little wiggle room. And on the trails, I tried dropping it to cadence to 71, because riding a lot of technical trails, for instance, you naturally will have a lower cadence. And just that one step down from 72 to 71 made the bike feel a bit more eager to shift. And there is also this setting called climbing response. In the app, you got this slider. Slide it right, it will increase the cadence, and you can lift it up to a more sensitive setting or down to a less sensitive setting. So lots of options here. And yeah, for those technical trails, I think perhaps 70 cadence, maximum shift sensitivity, that means 5. That seemed to work quite well for me. Here is where you set the default gear, or the start gear, which the system will default to when coasting and coming to a stop. If this was my bike, I might perhaps set both the automatic shifting presets to riding style trail. And I'll set one of them to be very eager to shift, because if you're riding hard on the trails, if you're going fast up and down, stop pedaling over a rough section, start pedaling hard again, going into a climb, the bike could be a tad slow to shift. So I'm thinking the A1 setting, for instance, as sensitive as possible for when you're pushing hard on the trails. And then the second setting, you could change the cadence a bit, drop the sensitivity a bit, and use it for more like flow trails, less aggressive riding. Having ridden 3 rides on this system, I really don't miss the shifter at all. Remember when I said it's not a lot of work performing a shift with your thumb? I'm not so sure anymore. It's a bit of a hassle. It's one of those things that when you stop doing it, you never miss having to do it. At least for me. And sure, the automatic system didn't perform flawlessly all the time, but neither does manual shifting. I mean, I'm often in the wrong gear on the technical trails when riding manual shifting, and sometimes I'm able to perform the shifting under a bit of load. Other times I just come to a stop. With automatic shifting, as I said, it doesn't care what you're doing. It will shift when it wants to. So it will shift in situations where I wouldn't have shifted on a mechanical drivetrain. So yeah, it turns out on those 3 rides, I would say the automatic shifting system was more often in the correct gear than what would have been the case with the manual shifting. So yeah, this drivetrain will work for a lot of people, I think, and I would happily use this on my next bike. You could even ride it without the shifter, save some money. It will make cycling between manual automatic 1 and automatic 2 a bit of a hassle, but I'm not sure I would miss the shifter for actually shifting. That's it. Appreciate any likes and subscribes. Thanks for watching.